Hey everybody, it's Ben, and I'm back once again with another video for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing X-O Manowar Volume 3, Planet Death. The series is written by Robert Venditti, and in the second volume we have Cary Nord returning to do the artwork, which we haven't seen since the first volume, which is by The Sword, which collects the first 4 issues of the series. So it's really nice to see Cary Nord come back to do some of the issues in this third volume. We also have Trevor Hairsine, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's Hairsine, however you choose to pronounce that. We also have Moose Bauman returning to do the colouring, and we have a new colourist, I believe, that I've seen on this series, Brian Reber, R-E-B-E-R, however you choose to pronounce that. And this third volume collects issues 9 through 14 of the X-O Manowar series, which is published by Valiant Entertainment, or Valiant Comics. So the story starts out and it picks up right after the events of issue 8, which is collected in X-O Manowar Volume 2, Enter Ninjak, where we have the Vine ships ready to invade Earth to try to basically take out Aric of Dacia, who is our title character of X-O Manowar, and also take out the X-O Manowar armour, which is also known as Shanhara, which is a sacred relic which the Ace of Radiant beings known as the Vine, they, on the one hand, they have this devout religious following for the Shanhara armour, but at the same time you also have some other members of the Vine who believe that the Shanhara armour is just a hoax and it's an urban legend, a myth, whatever you choose to call it. There's some great aerial battle scenes between Aric and the forces of the Vine, particularly in this first issue with the X-O commando units, as you can see there. But even they prove to be little match for Aric of Dacia wielding the X-O Manowar armour, as you can see there. And there. I did forget to mention that Trevor Hairsine does the artwork for issues 9 and 10, and Cary Nord does the artwork for issues 11 through 14. There's also some really great endearing moments which show in flashbacks the friendship between Aric of Dacia and his one of his oldest friends and fellow Visigoths and comrades in arms, Gafty, as they grew up together since they were kids, and were both trained from an early age to become warriors in the Visigoth army. There's also a really awesome scene which takes place between Commander Trill and Aric, as Trill says to him, the last thing you hear is the sound of your spine breaking. Aric turns around and says, "You first," and he then uses Shanhara to basically break Commander Trill's spine, which I thought was a really awesome moment for the character, and just also shows you how powerful the Shanhara armour is, and also Aric's connection to it as well, which is getting stronger and stronger, particularly throughout this third volume. Excuse me. We also have a really great fight scene between Aric and Commander Trill, as you can see there and there. There's also another really endearing character moment for Gafty, as he has endured tortures beyond belief and beyond imagining throughout from the Vine for many years. But Aric uses the armour to basically heal Gafty's wounds, and after a brief altercation and Gafty finally returning to his senses, he basically bids his farewells to Aric and says, "Never give up, never stop fighting," and then he basically realizes that the Vine are readying their battleships to fire all of their weapons upon the Earth and essentially destroy it. But Gafty sacrifices himself to basically save the Earth and also to stop the Vine's invasion of Earth, as you can see there and there. Excuse me. We also then have the start of the Planet Death storyline, where we have some of the backstory on the Vine as a race of beings, and at the same time we also have some backstory on how the Shanhara, or the X-O Manowar armour, actually came to be, as told from the myths and the legends and the teachings of the Vine, particularly from the clergy or the religious followers of the Shanhara armour. And there's a really awesome one-page spread of Aric basically returning the Vine their property, which is the Shanhara armour, but he then proceeds to basically lay waste to a fair few of the Vine before there's a great last page story reveal on the last page of issue number 14. Not 14, 11, sorry, as you can see there. And there. Once again, Cary Nord does an absolutely fantastic job on the artwork. I'm not sure if I mentioned who did the inking, but Moose Bowman does the inking for issues 11 through 14, and Brian Weber does the inking for issues 9 and 10. I'll just show you some more of the action scenes that take place between Aric and the Vine and their battleships, as you can see there and there. One thing I also really like, or two things I really like about this particular volume, is that Robert Venditti actually finds time to develop the Vine as a collective cast of characters. On the one hand, you have the clergy and the religious followers of the armour of Shanhara, who believe that Aric is the prophesized new warrior, which will basically lead the Vine into a new age. And at the same time, you also have the tyrannic council of the Vine, who are so just inherently just evil and vindictive that they would rather see their home world basically destroyed completely to keep the Shanhara or the X-O Manowar out of the hands of the human. As you can see there, one of the council members actually says, send a battalion of warriors and battleships to the slave encampment and basically annihilate all of the humans that still remain there, along with Aric and the Shanhara armour as well, which really shows you just how brutal these council members of the Vine actually are. And at the same time, you also have Robert Venditti also finds time to develop Aric as a character as well, not just being this vengeance-fueled 5th century Visigoth who wants revenge for being taken from his home, from his time and his home, and having his wife Deirdre taken from him, as well as his comrades in arms. But at the same time, you also see him basically come into his own more as a commander of this army of slaves, which he unites under his banner and promise of liberating them from their slavery and basically taking back the Vine homeworld of Loam, LOAM, for the good side of the vine, if you will. And here you see a really cool double page spread of Aric actually giving a battle speech to the troops, if you will. Basically uniting them under his banner, like I said, and motivating them to stand with him against the Council of the Vine and their oppressive forces. And here's some really cool pages of some more fantastic artwork by Cary Nord, and the colouring done by Moose Bauman, of just this epic, sprawling battle which takes place not only with Aric of Dacia in the X-O Manowar armour, but at the same time you see all of these different races of aliens and species that the Vine have visited over the centuries, and basically plucked from their own homeworlds and their own times, and you see them fighting along with Aric, as you can see there and there. Robert Venditti is still doing an absolutely fantastic job on the writing and the storytelling for this series. The artwork done by Trevor Hairsine and Trevor Hairsine and Cary Nord is equally on par with Robert Venditti's writing and storytelling, in my opinion, along with the equally on par colouring of Moose Bauman and Brian Reber. If you're a fan of Robert Venditti from his work on The Surrogates, which was also not only a comic series, but it was also adapted into a feature film. He's also done some work for DC. He's currently working on the Green Lantern title with Hal Jordan after Jeff Johns left with issue 20, and Robert Venditti's run started with issue 21. He's also done some work on the Demon Knights series from issue 17, I believe, is when Venditti's run started on Demon Knights. Unfortunately, Demon Knights will be ending with issue 20 something, because unfortunately the series was cancelled. Or if you're a fan of epic, sprawling science fiction stories, action adventure stories, or if you're a fan of independent comics, then you really should be reading Valiant, because in my opinion, Valiant are publishing some of the best independent comics that are on store shelves right now. Personally, I would hold Valiant and their series that I've reviewed so far, and that I'm currently reading, up there with other independent books such as The Manhattan Project from Image by Jonathan Hickman, Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, Chew by Ron Layman and Rob Guillory, Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez Lock and Key series from IDW. Just like I said, Valiant is up there with the best independent comic publishers right now. The work that they're doing since their relaunch in 2012 is absolutely phenomenal. If I had to give X-O Manowar Volume 3 Planet Death a rating, I'd give it an absolute 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. And that about concludes this review video, guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Didn't like it, thumbs it down. But as I always say for thumbs down the video, by all means please feel free to tell me why in the comments below, or send me a private message, tell me why you didn't like the video. If this is your first time here, by all means, please feel free to subscribe. And until next time, this is Gambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.